A wise man once said that of methods there may be a million and then some, but of principles there are few. He who understands principles can select his own method successfully, but whoever tries methods, ignoring principles, is sure to have trouble. So there might be 1,000 ways to pop up on a surfboard. These are the methods. What are the fundamental things that we have to get right for a successful pop-up? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And you're going to take those principles and develop your own method of popping up.
Howdy surf rats! Today we're talking about the pop-up, getting to your feet on a surfboard. This is probably our first major hurdle that we come across in our surfing journey, and it's the first time where we start to realize this isn't as easy as it looks. It can take a long time to get your pop-up really good, and this video probably isn't for those who are just starting to stand up on a surfboard, but instead maybe you've been surfing for a while and you think you could maybe just get your pop-up a little bit sharper, a little bit quicker, and a little bit more accurate. So I looked at lots of different surfers standing up, and I tried to figure out the common threads that run through all of their techniques. Now everyone will do this slightly differently, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone has a slightly different body, and we're going to do this slightly differently. I want to simplify things. I don't want to break this down into these kind of micro movements with each limb, moving in unison. It's too complicated. We have to let it happen like that. It has to be a pop up, right? So it has to happen instinctively.
At the moment of takeoff, there's a whole lot going on. We don't have the time to think about popping up. How do we make something instinctive? Think about simple tasks like going through a door, putting on a jacket, or getting off the couch. We don't really put much thought into how it's actually done. It just kind of happens. But to a child, it might actually be quite difficult. These tasks have been made instinctive through repetition. And it's much the same with the pop-up. Our eyes and our mind has to be on the oncoming section. What's happening next in the wave? And that brings us to principle number 1, eyes up. We need to keep our eyes up to see what's happening next on the wave. But apart from that, our bodies are really good at balancing themselves if our eyes are up. Principle number 2 is that our feet need to come underneath our body, or underneath our weight. Now peep these weekend circus hobbyists. Their feet and their legs are working hard to stay underneath the weight to keep everything standing upright. From a push-up position, just gently walk your feet up until they're in between your hands. Don't take your hands off the floor until your feet are right in between your hands. As you keep doing this, start to take fewer and fewer steps on your way through until eventually it turns into a bit of a jump. You hear that? We're getting a bit of pop now. But that's no good because we don't stand on a surfboard like that. That brings us to principle number 3. We stand sideways on the board. Our bodies and our hips need to turn through 90 degrees. So as you're going through this exercise, start to incorporate a twist through your hips and try and get your feet to end up sideways. As you come through, drop your back foot, but your front foot should still end up in between your hands. Now this is a note for shortboarders. You've noticed that we've been coming off our toes. We've been getting the lift from our toes. But if you're on a shortboard, your toes are going to be hanging in the water, so we can't get any lift from there. Watch as I try and jump from my knees. I'm not putting any weight there. I'm really just trying to get some lift and some height. This could take a little bit of practice, but that's how we're going to make space to bring our feet underneath us. And that's it. All that we've got to do now is repeat over and over again, making sure that we've covered these fundamental principles.
So then, getting to your feet, we know can be really frustrating. Once you get there, it's going to be worth it, okay? You're going to be able to surf bigger and more powerful waves when it requires that you stand up like that. This is just a little exercise that you can try at home to build up your strength and your flexibility and to build that muscle memory. Look down, see where your feet are landing and see if you can get them as close to perfect as you can. The more you do it, the more your body and your muscles will just be able to get into that position really quickly. Practice, practice, practice. As always, guys, keep it up, and we'll see you next time.